The alarm screams at 6 a.m. Another Monday. Your body resists before your mind does. That's not laziness. It's survival instinct. Your body knows what your mind refuses to admit. Something is deeply wrong with how we work. The office looks nothing like a jail. There are plants, free coffee, maybe even a casual Friday. But the walls are there. Invisible, financial, psychological. The pain isn't just the pointless task, the screaming boss, or the endless spreadsheet. The real pain is that suffocating feeling that you can't leave. Not now. Not yet. Your salary became an anchor. Your entire life revolves around not losing it. The routine turned into a survival game disguised as stability. Even when no one's forcing you, you stay. For the debt, for the health insurance, for the fear. Look at your last 3 major life decisions. How many were made because of your job? The apartment close to work, the vacation postponed because of deadlines, the relationship that collapsed under your exhaustion. This feeling of imprisonment doesn't come from within. It was built around you, slowly, by the bills, by the payments, by the fear of burning bridges in the industry. It's the prison of emotional dependence on work itself. A kind of abusive relationship with your only source of income. We call it financial responsibility, but it's just handcuffs made of monthly payments. Each promotion comes with golden shackles. Each raise, a heavier chain. The lifestyle creep that follows each pay increase isn't an accident. It's part of the design. More money, more expenses, deeper dependence. Every time you've considered walking away, the mental math stops you. Health insurance, rent, student loans, car payments. The golden handcuffs tighten with each passing year. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to leave. You don't love your job. You're just afraid to abandon the only lifeboat they left you. Remember when you first started? The energy, the ideas, the hope that this time would be different. The exhaustion you feel isn't a sign of weakness or incompetence. It's the direct result of a system that needs to keep you too busy to think about leaving. Burnout became the status quo, not a one-time excess, a continuous tactic. They call it hustle culture, like it's something to aspire to. They glorify exhaustion like it's achievement. They post motivational quotes about grinding while you struggle to find energy to cook dinner. The routine is designed to keep you in a cycle with no room for reflection. You wake up, work, shut down on autopilot, and by the end of the day, you're too tired to make any escape plan. Your free time becomes recovery time. Your weekends, life support systems. This is the logic of modern oppression. They don't forbid you from leaving. They just drain you until you have no energy to try. The system uses your vital energy against you, offers coffee, pizza, and ping pong tables so you'll keep functioning instead of running away. When was the last time you had enough mental space to actually think about what you want? Not just survive the week, but actually build something different? The emails don't stop. The Slack notifications keep coming. The meetings multiply like viruses. Your calendar is no longer yours. It's a battlefield where everyone fights for a piece of your time. Your attention fragmented into 1,000 little pieces. Your focus shattered by endless interruptions. They've convinced you that being constantly available is normal, that answering emails at 10 p.m. is dedication, that sacrificing your weekend for a deadline is commitment, that putting your health last is professionalism. They exhaust you to death, then ask why you lack initiative. At least you have a job. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you said it to yourself? You stay because it's secure, because there's a plan, because the job market is tough. But let's be honest, what kind of stability makes you sick inside and keeps you from sleeping? What security comes with Sunday night panic attacks? What protection is worth your mental health? Stability became synonymous with submission. The mythology of the good employee who never complains, never demands, never leaves. The idea that leaving your job is irresponsible was planted to keep you quiet. This is pure ideology. The system telling you that enduring is proof of character, that leaving is escape, that wanting more is ingratitude. They've made you believe that employment is a gift, not an exchange. That your paycheck is charity, not compensation for value created. But it's not you who's unstable. It's the work that's toxic, underpaid, poorly managed, and emotionally abusive. The fear you feel isn't irrational. It's the main weapon of contemporary domination. Look around your office. Look at the tired eyes, the forced smiles, the resignation. Everyone feeling the same thing but afraid to say it out loud. The collective silence mistaken for consent. The shared exhaustion interpreted as normal. The greatest trick capitalism ever pulled was convincing workers that their exploitation was inevitable, that there is no alternative, that this is just how things are. Remember, they need you more than you need that specific job, but they've invested billions in making you believe the opposite. The entire recruitment process is designed to make you feel lucky to be chosen. The onboarding process frames the company as your savior. The performance reviews keep you in a constant state of proving your worth. The system is built to make you feel replaceable, dispensable, fortunate, just to have a seat at the table. But who built the table? Who keeps the lights on? Who generates the value that becomes their profit? It's not them, it's you, it's all of us. It's not that you love stability. You were just taught to fear the void. You used to have ideas, passions, things that made your eyes light up. Now you stare at your phone between meetings, scrolling without seeing anything. Alienation isn't being bored. It's losing connection with what you do, who you are, what you desire. You become a functional zombie. Do, deliver, respond, repeat. But you don't feel anymore. You create reports nobody reads, attend meetings where nothing is decided, generate value you'll never see. The work that doesn't belong to you, that reflects nothing of you, erases you little by little. Your creative energy flows into someone else's profit. It's as if someone switched off your ability to imagine a future. Dreaming became luxury. Planning something different seems impossible. Monday through Friday disappears into a blur. Entire months vanish. Years. And that's what the system wants. For you to accept the present as a life sentence. For you to stop asking, what if? For your imagination to shrink until your job feels like the only reality possible. The most dangerous thing isn't that your job is boring. It's that it makes you boring. It narrows your world until spreadsheets and quarterly targets feel like they matter more than the things that once gave your life meaning. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Not just functional, not just productive, but vibrant, present, electric with possibility. When was the last time work made you feel that way? The tragedy isn't just the hours stolen from your life. It's the way work colonizes your mind even when you're away from it. The Sunday anxiety, the vacation emails, the dreams about deadlines. The way your identity has fused with your occupation until you struggle to remember who you were before the job title. They've hijacked your self-worth and tied it to your productivity. They've rewired your brain to equate busyness with importance. They've trained you to feel guilty about rest, about boundaries, about putting yourself first. It's not that you don't know what you want. Your job has anesthetized your will. This isn't where the story ends. This isn't where you give up. You still depend on your salary. That's a fact. But that doesn't mean there's no way out. You don't need to burn bridges or live on air for 5 years. You need calculation, strategy. Start with clarity. How much do you really need per month? What's essential? What's just keeping up appearances? Who can help you emotionally, logistically, financially? Strip away the unnecessary expenses. Not to live in deprivation, but to buy back your freedom day by day. Each dollar saved is 1 hour closer to walking away. Then comes the map. A side course, a parallel project, a support network, small steps taken during lunch breaks, skills built in the margins of your calendar, relationships cultivated outside your industry. It's not a heroic escape. It's gradual migration. It's not about courage. It's about method. The system wants you to think there are only 2 options: kill yourself working or quit without a plan. But there's middle ground, and it starts now. This isn't about following your passion or some Instagram dream life. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your ability to choose. It's about building something that belongs to you, even if it's small at first. Your life doesn't have to be spectacular to be yours again. The exit exists, but it doesn't shout. It builds itself in silence, one step at a time. The trap wasn't built in a day. Your escape won't happen overnight, but it can begin with a single question. What's one small thing you can do today to make tomorrow slightly more yours? Not a revolution, just a quiet act of reclamation. You don't hate your job, you hate feeling trapped. So start building doors where they tell you there are only walls. When they sold you the dream of a career, they never mentioned the nightmares that would come with it. The panic that rises in your throat Sunday evenings. The meetings that steal hours of your life you'll never get back. The performance reviews that reduce your humanity to metrics and KPIs. They never told you about the subtle humiliations. Having to ask permission to attend your kid's school play, justifying a doctor's appointment, pretending to be excited about a company milestone that means nothing to you. The small indignities pile up, the fake smiles, the forced enthusiasm, the personality you put on like a uniform each morning. Piece by piece, you become less you and more what they need you to be. Your resume looks like progress from the outside, more responsibility, better title, higher salary. But inside, something is shrinking. Your range of emotion, your capacity for joy, your ability to imagine alternatives. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. It needs you functional, but not flourishing. Productive, but not powerful. Present, but not fully alive. They call it work-life balance, like there's some magic equilibrium to be found. But the scales were rigged from the start. The job takes what it wants, when it wants it. Your life gets what's left over. We talk about burnout like it's a personal failure, a weakness, something to overcome with better habits or more resilience. But burnout is political. It's what happens when humans are treated like resources to be optimized and extracted. The real question isn't why you're exhausted. It's why exhaustion has become the default state for so many of us. Look at your parents, your colleagues, your friends. How many of them are truly living? How many are just surviving from paycheck to paycheck, vacation to vacation, weekend to weekend? The tragedy isn't that work is hard. The tragedy is that we've built our entire identities around it. We introduce ourselves by our job titles. We measure our worth by our productivity. We apologize for taking a day off like we've committed a crime. But beneath the performance reviews and the project deadlines, there's still a human being, with desires that have nothing to do with career advancement, with dreams that can't be contained in a 5-year plan, with a body that remembers what it's like to move for pleasure, not just between meetings. That part of you isn't dead, it's just been silenced, deemed impractical, unserious, a luxury you can't afford. The truth is, you weren't born to work. You weren't put on this earth to maximize shareholder value or hit quarterly targets. You were born to experience the full range of what it means to be alive, to create, to connect, to rest, to play. Work was supposed to be a means to an end, a way to secure what you need so you could do what you want. But somewhere along the way, the means became the end. The job became the point. Liberation doesn't start with quitting your job tomorrow. It starts with seeing the cage for what it is. Recognizing that what feels like a personal failing is actually a systemic trap. Understanding that your exhaustion isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. The first act of resistance is to stop blaming yourself. Stop thinking that if you were just more organized, more disciplined, more passionate, it would all feel better. Stop believing that the problem is you. The problem is a system that treats human beings as disposable parts in a profit machine. The problem is an economy that measures success by growth at all costs. The problem is a culture that equates busyness with worth. Your job will take everything you give it and still ask for more. It will never tell you that's enough. It will never say you've done well, now rest. That boundary has to come from you. Start small. Take your lunch break. Use your vacation days. Don't check email after hours. These aren't acts of laziness. They're acts of reclamation. Tiny reminders that you are more than your output. Find the others, the ones who also see the cage, the ones who are also trying to build something different. You are not alone in this feeling. Your exhaustion is shared by millions. Your desire for something more is not selfish or naive. The way out isn't a perfect escape plan executed flawlessly. It's 1,000 small choices made day after day. It's saying no when you're expected to say yes. It's imagining alternatives when they tell you there are none. The most radical thing you can do in a world obsessed with productivity is to remember that you are not a machine. You are not a resource to be optimized. You are not defined by what you produce. You are allowed to want more than this. You are allowed to build a life that doesn't revolve around work. You are allowed to prioritize your well-being over your output. The work will always be there. The emails will never stop coming. The to-do list will never be complete. But you only get one life, one body, one mind. And they're not unlimited resources to be exploited until there's nothing left. What would it feel like to work on your terms? To have a relationship with labor that doesn't drain your soul? To contribute value without sacrificing your humanity? To work because you want to, not because you're terrified of what happens if you stop. The path to that reality starts with a simple acknowledgement. This isn't working. Not just the job, the entire relationship between you and work, the expectations, the sacrifices, the imbalance of power. You don't hate your job. You hate being trapped by it. You hate what it takes from you. You hate how it shrinks your life to fit its demands. So take back what's yours, 1 hour at a time, one decision at a time, not because it's easy, but because your life depends on it. The prison isn't just the job. It's the belief that this is all there is, that this is what you deserve, that this is normal. It's not normal. It's just common. And what's common can be changed. Your worth is not measured in productivity. Your value is not determined by your salary. Your purpose is not tied to your career. You are more than your job. You always have been. It's time to remember that. And it's time to build a life that reflects that truth, step by quiet, determined step.